Do you want to get good at divination? Have you always wanted to learn tarot or the runes, but never quite seemed to get into it? Have you bought the tarot deck and you've read the little book at the back, but you're not really doing anything with it? It just doesn't seem to fit into your life, or you want to get there, but you're not. Well, stick with me, because today I am telling you how to make yourself a divinatory better person. I can't say that you're going to be fabulous, but I will share with you the way in which I have, in recent years, improved significantly my reading skills. Now, there is an additional topic around divination on how to do it intuitively and how to integrate the information. Those are topics for a different day. But today, I want to talk about practicing divination and how you can practice your way into skill. Well, I mean, that's a bit of a redundant statement, isn't it? Because practice is how you gain skill. You gain ability and grace with something by doing it over and over again. But not just repetition by rote over and over again. It needs to have an aspect of evaluation and reflection brought into it in order for your skill to build. If you simply throw a ball and throw a ball and throw a ball and throw a ball, you never think about how you're throwing it, you never evaluate how you're throwing it, you're simply throwing a ball. Over time, you may get better with it because, one, you're building up some muscle and you're just, practicing over and over again. There's probably going to be some improvement, but if you want real deep improvement, you're evaluating what you are doing. You are recording if you want to get great at dog training, you record the training that you're doing with your dog, and then you watch it and evaluate it and look at what could you do differently, how could you improve yourself. You want to get to be a better dancer, you record yourself dancing, and then you watch yourself dancing, and then you get over it because, oh my god, and then you watch it again as trying to have third-party eyes and what could be done better. It's not that you're horrible, just what could be done better. Yes, I've done both of these things of recent times, and it will dramatically improve you. Well, how do we do that with divinatory reading? So I do this practice that I'm going to share with you both with runes and tarot, because more so a little bit on the tarot side. It's on every aspect or every level of the practice, but I do it with runes as well. And essentially it comes down to, you got to do it, you got to write it down, and then you got to look back at what you've written down and do it again. There's the whole rest. Sorry about that weird handprint in the middle, but we're struggling with the equipment today a little bit. The process of reflection becomes very important to it, and it needs to be written down. And there's some fun ways to kind of bring that in. This does involve, the way that I do it does involve using a journal, which I know for some people is like a swear word or some kind of dirty word. Like, how dare you suggest that I journal with regards to my magic? Oh dear God! Hi, I am Vi Phoenix. I am the Abysmal Witch. This is my abysmal perspective. And that seemed like the perfect time to say that, because this is my perspective. It doesn't have to be yours, but I have come to it through a lot of years, a lot of practice, a lot of in practice, and a whole bunch of not so greatness and periodic astoundingness. So, getting better at divination. Pick one tool. I mean, as just a central core of getting started, pick one tool. Just one. Stick with it. Stick with it for a long time. Stick with it longer than you want to. Keep going back to it. I'm going to talk mostly about tarot, as I've said, maybe a bit about runes. I know a little bit about a number of other ones. There's I Ching, there's Ogam, it's probably said differently than that. There's the more scrying style, but what I am talking about is a divinatory system that has, you could probably do it actually with even the scrying stuff, but still, let's stick to systems. It's going to work better. And it's what I was planning and thinking of when I wrote out. Yes, I made notes. I did. I made very, very ridiculously brief notes. So pick your one tool. Then you need to practice this. It needs to happen on a regular basis. If it doesn't happen, then you're not going to, well, you're not getting any practice at it. You're not going to get better. So I recommend doing a daily draw. I do a daily draw for, I could do it, I do it as a, so how's the day going to go? What can I expect? And sometimes it's like, oh, I thought today was going to be a good day, and you've given me that card, and every time I get that card, it's not a great day. It's, well, often more about how that day is going to feel than whether or not the day is actually bad. And because I believe that divination is not fortune telling, it's not the guarantee of what's going to come, it is what is most likely based upon you and your environment and the other people around and how you co-create space. It is the tendency, it is the most likely, with a little bit of where the universe is going to stick its nose in with some random stuff, and the divination goes, I see you, universe. I see what you've got planned here for my peep, and I'm gonna give them a little heads up that there's some storm clouds on the horizon, or something cool could be coming your way. But you do it daily. And for me, I also have a monthly card. I do a yearly spread that is, I do it once a year, and I draw cards for every month. And I did that for a lot of years. I mean, a lot of years. And then I never felt like I was really connecting to it. So the next part is not just to draw them, but then write them down. Step one, write them down. Just the act of writing something down concretizes it out of the ether and into something that is perceivable in the mundane realm. It takes it from a thought to an action. It moves it from a conceptualization to a reality because it has been actually written down. It is best not just to write down what the card was or what the rune was, but to also write down short statement. It doesn't have to be long. I often do like short phrases, not even a whole sentence, sometimes a bit more, on what my impression is, or the actual reading of the card. I'm not talking about today. So I read the card, I get what I'm going to get, and I write that down. Nice, brief. I'm a bullet journaler at this point in my life, and so it's in a spread for the month. Every day I write it down. What did I draw today? What did I experience? That's one side of the page. The other side of the page is the part 2 factor, or the next step, which is reflecting. So when I get to the end of the day, or in my case, actually, I do it now in the mornings, I look back to what I had drawn the day before. What did my impressions of the reading were? What did I think that it meant for the day? And then I compare that to what I experienced of the day itself. Was the reading accurate? Or can I, and if yes, cool, great, check mark, big fucking check mark. I got in the information it was trying to give me, and I got it in a way that made sense. I could look at to go, is there any other nuances that I could draw from knowing what I know now about the day and what I got from the card yesterday? Is there more that I could have pulled from it that would have been useful? I could do that evaluation. Then sometimes, though, I'm looking and going, that doesn't make sense. I don't see how what I thought, what I got from it, what I wrote down, and what actually happened don't seem very aligned. In that case, I go back to the cards themselves, because I leave them out, quite frankly, until I've done this evaluation. And I look at them again and go, okay, is there anything that I can see now in the card that does speak to the day that I had? Was there something that it was actually trying to tell me and I just missed it because I missed it? That evaluation of that gap, that's where I would be building skill. I would be creating a better understanding, a better feeling, and a better database between what the card is saying, what it's trying to say, and my understanding of what is coming, right? Because I'm trying to understand what it's giving me. And it's like understanding a different language. It's like understanding my dog and what my dog is trying to tell me, because I don't speak dog, but I'm trying to learn. And the same thing with the cards and how they communicate, how we communicate together. So it's navigating that road. And then we're not going back and going, hey, this is what I got. Wait, what? Wow, we were really far apart on that one. Can I see if I can perhaps understand better how this could have played in? That's what makes real change happen. So that reflexive moment is important, and I write that down. Like, I write down what actually happened in the day and how it compared to the thing. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you were on, and sometimes it was. I even look at it and go, I still can't reconcile that, so I just make notes on the day that I had, and I look back a week later and go through it again, looking at it because there's the immediate perspective of, okay, I just finished that day. This was what I thought was going to happen. This is what actually happened. A week later, you're at a distance, and I'm looking back and I'm going, okay, that's what I thought was going to happen. That's what actually happened. And I can see how those correlate. But I also get my view has broadened. It has greater context. It's got the environment of all the other days around it. And so I can add some extra depth to the ones that already made sense potentially, but particularly with the ones that never did make sense, it becomes another opportunity to evaluate and go, now that I've got a bit more space and distance, was there information, was there truth in there that I wasn't able to see a week ago? And the answer is surprisingly yes, a number of times, which is also, again, very useful and kind of comforting, to be honest. So that reflection thing is important, and that's how I do it on the daily basis. That's what works for me. But on this monthly, spread, how do you get into that in a way that is useful? I use a different approach, actually. It still requires journaling. It still involves my bullet journal, but it's not quite in the same fashion. So, what I do is this. I have once a year I do a reading for the year, and I pull out the cards and go, and I note down which month, and I write out statements at that time for what I got from the card. For example, I do believe this month is the Lovers, and what I wrote down was, where and how do I feel loved, am loved, something along those, or where and how do I love and am loved, something along those lines. Which, if you're going, she wrote that down or memorized it so that she could do this podcast, the answer is no. Actually, I didn't. I don't plan out that much in advance, as anyone who knows me knows. I don't write scripts. I made notes for today. That is remarkable for me, and my notes are like that. It ain't much, and half of that board is not notes relating to this episode. I was debating what I wanted to cover. So what I do, and I'm not even looking at them that much because honestly I'm driving and I am more focused on what I'm telling you. So the reason I know it is because instead of like in the past where there'd be the year-long reading, and honestly I normally didn't even look at it again until the next year when it was time again to do another one, and then be like, oh yeah, how did it go? And I would, you do the reading and you're like, oh my god, August is gonna suck this year. August sucks every year for me, by the way. So but when August rolls around, I wouldn't remember that. I wouldn't be getting anything from it. It wasn't giving me any guidance on how to improve my month or how to use it effectively or how to engage with and embrace the challenge of it in a way that would make it worthwhile and not just a horrifying experience to go through. Now, because I do daily journaling and I bullet journal, so I am looking regularly at what I'm doing in month capsules. So when I do my monthly bullet journal setup, I write, and for me that's anywhere from 3 to 5 spreads usually, and the spread is just 2 pages open. So you open the book, beep, there's one spread. And, I'll say 1 through 31 for the days, let's say. At the bottom of the first page, I put in a little square. Well, it's a rectangle. Oh, an angle, kind of like a diamond. That is, I put the number of the card into it, and then beside it, I put in quotes what my reading was. And then on maybe the 3rd spread, I do that again, and maybe the 5th one, I do it again. So that I've written it out multiple times. The act of writing it out, again, brings it to the forefront of the mind. It makes it more real, more solid. As I'm writing it out, I'm having actually, I wonder about that. I'm looking at this page on a regular basis. Now, do I always make it down to the bottom and notice? No, I don't. But it is there. It does speak to me. And this is a big, important and. I am trying very hard to do at least a little bit of short journaling every day. So keeping a daily log. I put the monthly card. I'm also started this last week putting the daily cards just as a little side note as well. Like they're recorded somewhere else, but I'm also putting them with the longer notes for the day to see later on I'll be able to look back and again reflect a little bit deeper as to the relation of the card and the day that I experienced. But for the actual daily log spread, so those 2 open pages, in the top right-hand side, I put a little bloop, bloop, bloop for the card. I put in the card number, and I put in the quotes again what I had written down as the reading for the month. So every, week and a half or so, I'm writing it out again, and I'm seeing it, and it is an invitation to me and my brain to go, to stay in it, to have that layer of perception and reflection of that card in relation to this month, and to go, is it kind of describing, this month is more not so much describing how to handle, which was 2 months ago was very much a here's how to handle this month. It's going to be a special month, but here's how you can handle it. This month is more of an invitation to go deeper, and in the going deep and the dealing with things, to focus on where I love and where I am loved. And that is my journey in essence for this month. And I keep bringing it back because I am making this point to write it out and to bring it to the forefront and to put it into relation with my actual lived days. And that's what is important, right? It is bringing it to our attention on a regular basis and to build it into our practice and to make it something that we do engage with on a regular basis. That's how we get good at divination. And I also get a better sense going forward into that whole month part, how my year was. And I do think that it is improving my skills in reading for the year as well. So I offer that all to you, and we are definitely stopping now because I have arrived at daycare and it is time to go fetch the potion from incarceration. She does love her incarceration. She has a great old time with it, so it's not a problem. Shall we check before I sign off completely? Because somebody else is just about to walk in, maybe. No, I do believe I covered it all. So with that, my wondrous weirdos and wild ones, all the love in the world to you, because you are also ones that I love. We'll find out over time whether or not what I share with you is something that you love. If it is, oh my God, I'm going to say it. Hit the like button and share.